Welcome to the Sea Golf Sea Driven Show, and today we're talking about five different aspects of your game that we can improve on to help us break 100. Let's get started. First thing we're going to talk about is the driver. All right, being able to keep the ball on the planet, not going out of bounds, not going into the penalties. That is a big key when we're going to try to break 100 and trying to score better. All right, so two things we can do with that to try to improve on. So we want to be able to pick smart targets. So aiming away from trouble. So if there's water on the hole, aiming away from that. Or if we have time to practice, we're going to go to the driving range and we're going to spray some foot spray on the driver and try to work on our face strike and try to make sure we're striking the middle of the face when we can. All right, so doing those two things should help you keep the ball in play more, and that will help you save some strokes. Next aspect of our game that we're going to improve on is our irons. So you need to really limit the oh no shots if you're going to break 100. So it's going to happen every so often, but you don't want it to happen all the time during a round. So really the fat and thin shots you really want to cut down on, and then all the shanks and the hosels. So you want to limit those shots. So two things to work on your iron game. So you want to work on your ground contact. So different drills to work on that. I really love using a divot board. Some people you can spray foot spray on the ground and practice hitting in front of that line. So those are two drills to work on for that. So ground contact, that's one thing to work on, and then face strike with your irons. So you can do that again using foot spray on the iron. If you don't have any foot spray, you can practice using tees and making a gate, and you want to make sure you're not hitting either of the tees. So again, biggest room for improvement for most golfers is with their approach play, and this is going to save you a lot of strokes. If you can advance the ball as far as you can with your second shot, you're going to be well on your way to breaking 100. So two different things I want you to work on in your short game to break 100. One is a bump and run chip. So you're not going to be flashy, using your 60-degree lob wedge. Use 8 iron, 9 iron, and you're just trying to gently, not gently, but like you're trying to bump the ball up to the edge of the green, and it's going to run out towards the hole. All right, so you're not trying to stick it close. You're trying to get it to run up onto the green and get it as close as you can. Key with this shot is you want to get it on the green. All right, so a lot of players, if they're struggling to break 100, they're double chipping. All right, so the biggest goal for your chip shots are to get it on the green. And then when it comes to putting, so you want to eliminate 3 putts and definitely any more than that. And that's tough. And you're not going to eliminate them all to start, but one thing that if you're practicing your putting, try to really work on your lag putting, which is your long distance putting, and then your short putting, which is less than 5 feet. So this way, the more comfortable you can get, hitting it closer from a far distance, right, getting to know those speeds, then less likely you're going to be leaving yourself like another 20 feet for your second putt. Fourth aspect of our game to focus on and put some work in is our mental game. So during a round, you're going to have some ups and downs. The biggest thing I think, if you're trying to break 100, to work on with your mental game is to not get too up or too down. So what am I really saying? So say you have a double bogey on a hole, right? You don't want to then be like, oh no, I need to make par on the next one to make that up, right? So you're going to have some bad holes, you're going to have some bad shots. It's part of golf. It's going to happen, right? So if you have a plan as far as like, oh, this is what I need to do to break 100, right? These are the holes I'm comfortable really scoring well on. These are my tougher holes. Plan out what you're gonna what your expectations are. So this way you're not expecting to shoot even par, and then what your real goal is to break 100. All right. So if you have a bad hole, don't let it affect multiple holes as you go. Right. Try to just let it go. I know it's tough to do, but right, just try to move on and get back to the plan. Be like, all right, it's just a few shots. It's no big deal. Right. I think I can, keep it going. And myself, I try to have those kind of things planned in, like, oh, I can have this many bogeys or this many I can have 2 double bogeys around and be okay, right? So try to have those things planned out, and if things aren't going according to plan, right, just try to stick with it hole by hole, shot by shot. Say you are, you know, hitting off the tee and you hit it into the trees, and you see a little tiny sliver of, air in between the leaves, right? So one thing, if you're trying to break 100, if you're that level of player, you're not really in the position to go after those shots. You need to take your medicine and just punch out the best you can. So get back to safety. All right, losing that 1 stroke is better for you than losing 2 or 3 strokes trying to get out of the trees from a hero shot. So again, it's not ideal to be in that situation in the first place, but you can't make it worse. That's the big thing to take away if you're trying to break 100. You can't make a bad situation worse. I've heard a story of, it's okay to hit a bad shot, but it's dumb to hit 2 bad shots. So you don't want to make a bad situation worse by trying to make a hero shot. And then with that, like I said before, you want to pick smart targets off the tee, going into the green. And for my experience and for most golfers, if you are trying to break 100, you might want to play towards like the back yardage of the green. If you know your yardages, your distances. So many golfers or amateur golfers leave it short, so you don't want to just, because our ground contact's not that great, you don't want to leave it short all the time. You want to be giving yourself a chance to get on the green. All right, so if you like these tips, keep coming back for more. Stay driven. Take care.